like these goals?
I have a comment. My name's Jung O'Donnell. I live 2 blocks from here. And my concern is that I'm trying to raise a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old in the city. And it's a city. We have the same struggles as other cities. But the worst case scenario, I found out that San Francisco has the lowest percentage of kids of any major city in the United States at 13.4%. And then it makes it so much harder for people like me to stay in the city when you are so anti-car. You're going to take away parking. In my block, 2 blocks over, they took away about 100 spots of parking just last year and beginning of this year. And people like me are middle class. We're just trying to find a parking space. We're trying to carry our kids around, go to the grocery store, coach soccer, referee. We're trying to carry our equipment. We need our car. And for you to say, oh, on Masonic, just 7 blocks over, we're going to take 167 spots away from you guys. And I know that group of parents and individuals and people have a petition going to get, and now they have over 700 people signing from the neighborhood saying, don't take away 167 spots of parking for 30 prime time rush hour traffic, 30 bicyclists that you've counted as the maximum that you've counted per hour in rush hour. So don't take that and raise bike lanes. So I'm saying, like, when I meet kids at the playground and half of them are leaving the city and moving out, when I meet neighbors with kids and I want to hang out with them, but they're all moving out of the city, come on, great. I know the Bicycle Coalition has 5, well-paid executives who are there lobbying for them. That's wonderful. But think about the people who live here, too, and who want to raise a family here. Think about us.
Okay, I think we can...
Yeah.
As another goal of the project would be to preserve parking. I think that it's something, we have heard in some of our past meetings from residents who also feel that, that they walk a lot and they feel like the pedestrian safety is important to them and that also can be addressed by parking. So it's a balancing act.
Yeah, so just help me rephrase that into a
Yeah.
goal for the project. So what I hear from you is that you want a goal for the project to be not to impact driving? Is that what you're saying?
I would like it not to be anti-car,
Okay.
not to be
anti-car.
anti-parking,
Uh-huh.
as the goals that you did on Oak Street, as the goals that you've done in Masonic, without informing the residents there. I live a block from Oak, and nobody informed me what was going on.
Okay,
And so when
okay.
I heard about this, I came right away because I need to let people know what's going on.
Can I make a suggestion?
Yes.
It says improve conditions for people who walk, bike, and live along the Wiggle. How about drive and park along the Wiggle?
Thank you.
See,
Thank you.
and I think she is addressing the fact that you're only thinking about a very limited number of people in the city, and most everybody else uses a car and needs parking.
So just before, I know we talk a lot about parking, and I know that it's important for this project that we think about it. A lot of the things that we want to get feedback on are these things that divert traffic, and they don't have to involve parking loss. So I just, I know we've heard this, I know a lot of you have that thought, and we're going to be keeping this in mind. But even those of you who drive in the neighborhood, if we did something like this that could change traffic circulation without changing parking, that's what we'd really like to hear your feedback on, because that's sort of the newest thing. So it could be that you still have your parking, the same amount of parking as right now. It's just about the volume of cars that are going on your streets and whether you feel like it's too much of a burden or actually a nice thing to have a street that has less traffic on it. There's a lot of hands up, so I guess I'll.
Sure, so I think Deborah had
I think when you talk about speed, we have bicyclists speeding around there.
Yes.
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 One of my neighbors, he has children too, and when he crosses right there at that intersection of Oak and Scott, he says he has to cross mid-block because the bicycles come speeding around there, and he doesn't feel safe because the bicycle is speeding around.
Yes.
So how can we slow
Yeah.
down?
That's-
I really need to slow the bikes down.
So that's definitely something that we want to accomplish with this. We know that we also have this goal of increasing bicycling in the city, but we want it to be increasing in a way that has the result of reducing the people demanding your parking spaces rather than makes you feel uncomfortable. So like at Oak Street, for instance, if we could consider putting something there that makes that turn sharper, and makes it harder to go speeding around that corner. So that's definitely the sort of thing that we can look at that could accomplish more than one, that could improve things for more than one, population.
So, sorry, but Deborah, help us make that, how is it not in our goals? Because I think in our goals, we say that we want to ensure that pedestrians feel safe crossing the street. So are we missing something, or is there something we need to add?
Well, we want pedestrians to be safe crossing the streets.
Uh-huh.
So we need to slow down the bicycles coming
Okay,
down that.
so specifically about slowing down the bike, thank you.
Because I don't feel threatened by the cars slowing down Scott Street. I do feel threatened by all the bicycles.
Bicycles that don't stop, exactly, me too. Me
So
too.
we're gonna go ahead and ask that we only speak one at a time, please, okay? So Miriam will call on folks. I appreciate if you do keep your hands raised, because it's hard for us to figure out every time. So, thank you, and we're gonna ask that people speak one at a time, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I often, I'm going as a pedestrian eastbound on Fell on the south side of the street. And when I approach Scott, I've never had a situation where a driver from Fell turning left onto Scott has come anywhere near hitting me, or I have felt that they're going too fast or anything like that. All the time, bikes coming north on Scott, turning left onto Fell, cut that corner. Just about 3 weeks ago, 2 bicycles came, pretty close to me. Not as close as they do on Fell in front of my house on the sidewalk, even though there is a path right in the park 50 feet away. But that is a treacherous intersection, not because of the cars, but because of the bicycles.
Okay, and I think that Luis is noting down that Fallon Scott, the bicycle left turn is something, so there could also be something that we do at that intersection.
So is there anything about, is there a goal of the project that is not capturing that? Because we're definitely gonna talk about specific intersections. That's the next question. Right now, we're just at a higher level. Are there goals that you're not seeing?
The goal arising out of that example would be to make sure that cyclists not only go slow, but that they don't cut those corners and that they stop when they're supposed to stop.
Okay, so, okay.
Project's supposed to make people big enough.
Yeah, that's what she's
It doesn't.
one thing that gets lost here is the bikes don't police themselves.
Right.
We've in years maybe seen one cyclist yell at another cyclist for doing something stupid, but even if it's just 10% of cyclists, that 10% is really pissing people off. And so I've suggested, I know many people here have suggested controls a lot, that would control the bikes, like center curves or something like that. But all of your approaches are how to control cars. I'd like to see some focus, some goal on controlling bikes, making them do what they need to do.
Help us think about that. It sounds like we heard make them stop, make them slow. Is there something about maybe behavior, right?
It is.
Civility.